Hello there and welcome to the new channel.
Here to help you see
The new you.
My name is Carmine Ortega.
Dennis Calamba.
This is Nato Agbayani.
My name is Juan Lu.
I'm Chino.
I'm Trisha.
This is Apple Manansada.
This is Attorney Carlo Ibanez.
This is Attorney Sheila Santiago.
This is Angie.
Yes, Argamit.
My name is Dante Salama.
This is Jesse Francis Rebostillo.
I'm Dania Cunha.
Mon Mendoza.
I am Mapet Erhina.
I'm Leo Bryan. Mike.
Nice one, dear.
Sir Al Ian Barcelona.
Marvin Salazar. This is Sonny Jaldon.
Haydee Lumayno.
This is Ivan Jude.
Patrick Hieronimo.
Alan Perez.
My name is Erwin Ursua.
My name is Bob.
My name is Lloyd Luna and this is
Future.
The Talk.
Family Business.
The Puppet Stories.
After Shift.
PNC Town Hall.
YOLO.
Marketplace.
The Home Buyer.
HR Hotline.
Danny Art Show.
Healthline.
Foreign Affairs.
COVID Stories.
Awesome Day Show.
Thank you.
Money and more.
Cybernext.
Women at Work.
Win Within.
Port Project.
The Big Picture.
Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to the new channel. We are helping you see the new you. This is Sonny Jaldon streaming live from San Jose, California.
And this is Haydee Lumayno, streaming live from Metro Cebu. You're watching Money and More.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the show. It's great to have you here tonight. Haydee, good to see you.
Yeah. Yes, good to see you, Sonny. Kamusta ka dyan sa US?
Well, we're on
Magandang gabi sa
Magandang
mga
gabi.
viewers natin sa US, sa Dubai, sa Hong Kong, UK, and of course, dito sa Cebu. Mayong gabi kaninyong tanan.
Right. Good evening to everyone. Good morning wherever you are in the world. And so, yeah, nakikita natin that well, at least dito we're on the road to recovery. We're expecting full recovery by December this year. So we're still not out of the woods yet, in terms of dealing with the pandemic. But I hear that extended po ang lockdown dyan sa at least sa NCR and
Manila.
Tama ba?
Unfortunately, yes.
Definitely.
So, sa'yo, di ba, I remember you made mention that you already had your, buti ka pa, Sunny, you already had your vaccine shot, no? Then, ano yon? First shot pa ba yon? Kailan yung second dose?
2 shots kasi yung one, so I have a second shot coming in the next 2 weeks. Yun. But if I heard kung nabasa ko tama, nagro-roll out naman ang vaccinations dyan, which is good, umabot na yung mga 1 million doses. Yun, so it's it's, as we said, a long road to recovery, but the vaccinations can help. May economic implications kasi when the economy is up and running. Economic implications, especially for the biggest economy like the US, But we'll get there, We'll get there together. I guess the pandemic protocols will still have to be followed, no matter even after kami vaccinated na kami, but we're still naka-face mask pa rin.
Of course, no. It doesn't mean if you get vaccinated, pwede ka nang magpariwara sa labas, because we really still have to follow protocol, still wear the mask, the shield, kasi nandyan pa rin siya. Hindi pa rin siya umaalis sa atin, no? Better be safe.
It's also very interesting, that we saw in the past week, a slight recovery in the Philippine Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
So, as you said, we are getting back on track there, which brings us to the idea na we never knew that the pandemic would hit us this way, just like a lot of events happen in our life na medyo unexpected, na we have to adjust. Looking back to what we know right now, sana naabiso tayo, sana naabiso tayo na itong mangyari, and this is what we could have done. That's why I want to ask you, Haydee, given what we know right now, for example, in the world of finance, in personal finance or personal financial planning, given that we know what we know right now, what advice do you think you would have told your 25-year-old self, or something that you should have known earlier? Sana na nalaman ko to earlier when I was younger. Is there anything?
Oh yeah, di ba? Yung goal ko for this year is to do new things. Yung regret ko, masasabi kong regret yan kasi hindi ko siya naumpisahan years ago. Yung pag-invest in stocks, yun. Parang sabi ko, had I known about this, or had I been educated about this when I was younger, I could have done it so. Pero parang ang hirap yata mag-invest ng stocks ng panahon na yon, di ba, Sunny? And there was no information on how to do about it. Paano ka magsimula. Tsaka parang malaki yata yung money involved for you to get invested. So, yun lang ang parang had I known about it, I could have done it in my younger years.
Yeah, when we were younger kasi medyo iba yung priorities natin, iba yung priorities natin. If I was going to give advice to my 25-year-old self, then I would have told him to as early as possible to invest in real estate, get into the stock market. Medyo late na rin ako, although aware ako dun sa as you said, I was aware of the stock market and all of the functions of it, pero yun nga, since nasa probinsya tayo, hindi tayo masyadong hindi masyadong accessible sa atin.
Informed, yeah.
We
Walang
didn't have the
accessibility.
information, we didn't have the technology not to be able to access to access resources like that, no. Which is quite different from what the generation right now, is experiencing.
Agree.
That is information, and even investing itself, is literally at their fingertips, nasa cellphone, nasa mga devices now. So access is already something that that opens up a lot of opportunities now for the younger generation, and that is what our special guest for today will be talking about na. I'm very excited about this because gusto kong I want to be able to connect a little bit to the younger generation Z, as we call them.
Yeah. Tama.
Gen Z na pala.
Gen Z. Yeah, well, talking about that, now we're very privileged to have him tonight, our Gen Z na guest. And talagang nai-envy ako sa kanya kasi he has been investing in stocks 7 years ago pa. Galing, no?
So
ako nga ngayon lang ako nag-umpisa this year lang. And
college pa invest na siya.
Yes. He is the customer experience officer for Sun Life Grepa, a former business development officer and management associate of AIA Film Life. And yun nga, sabi ko, he has been investing in stocks for around 7 years already. We're very privileged to have him tonight, Mr. Adrian Paolo Ledesma. Hi, Adrian.
Hello. Hi, Sonny and Miss Haydee. Good
Nako,
evening.
ang gwapo ng guest natin tonight.
Maraming salamat.
Before ako mag-umpisa, mag-shoutout lang ako. I'd like to say hi to your mom, who is very accommodating when I told her that we would want to have you as guest in our show. Miss J. Ledesma, good evening po. At saka si Sir June, good evening po.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Paolo.
Hello.
It's good to have you here. It's nice to have. It's good to have a fresh face. Talking to a fresh face. We've never met before. Before our.
Yes.
So it's a privilege.
Parang anak ko na lang si Paolo. Kasi si Anne is 20 years old. Diba? Si Paolo is also very young pa.
Right.
Kumusta ka 24 pa lang.
24.
Oh, diba?
Bagong-bago pa lang.
Just 4 years older than I'm, Sonny. Nako, Diyos ko. Talagang. Hi, Miss J. She's watching right now. And also hi to Edith, who's watching right now.
Shout out
Rita is also watching right now.
Shout out to all of our viewers. If you have comments and questions, now you can put it in the chat below. And if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more content from TNC. Plug in. Anyway, Pao, how are you?
I am good.
How are you?
Actually, I'm very grateful for having a very good job right now, a good employer. I'm adjusting really well. I mean, nakakapagod na nakatulala lang sa screen for 8+ hours a day because of work, and then you're just sitting in one place. But I mean, I can't complain much because I'm employed and I'm in a good place. Yeah, I'm in a good place.
Yes.
So
Good for you.
Yeah.
So
yun nga lang, nakakamiss yung face-to-face na interaction with the clients, di ba? Yun yung nakakamiss. But still, we're very lucky that we have work compared to those unfortunate friends natin na natanggal sa trabaho. And still, we are very grateful for that, for having our jobs up to this time.
So we're actually curious, Paolo, about you. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself to our viewers?
Okay. So actually, it was just mentioned earlier naman. I'm working right now sa Sun Life Grepa Financial. I'm the client experience officer. So I'm focusing on group or employee benefits. I've been investing in the stock market for almost 7 years. Actually,
Wow.
7 years na nga. 7 years na. I started small lang din, from little savings, from baon, ganun. And then eventually nakapaglagay na rin sa stock market. So, ayun, I think that's a very very short introduction lang, no? So, yun.
Yeah, that's fine. You're
May
very
i-add akong tanong.
Yes po.
Single pa ba si Paolo?
Yes. Matagal pa. Matagal pa. Siguro 30 years old pa ako.
Pero hindi pa rin in a relationship. Kasi may nagtatanong baka may pag-asa pa daw sila.
Sa ngayon wala.
Di ba, Sonny?
Matagal.
Dami mga viewers na girls. Di ba? Well, just making this episode light as it could be. Okay. Yeah, Sonny, you have some questions for Paolo?
Yeah. Well, good to hear all of these things happening to you, Paolo. So, ang generation nyo is called Generation Z.
Ano pa ba tayo?
Dulo-dulo na.
Start of the Generation Z. So, medyo you're in your young 20s. Yeah. You're also known as the woke generation now because because you have access to all of this information. So, and because of technology, you're able to do things, no? And you have opportunities that probably come in during our time we don't have. How would you describe yourself now, your generation by your own observation?
Okay. Actually, my sense naman na they describe it as a woke generation. I mean, you could take it as a positive or a negative, no? But ako personally, I would take it as a positive thing when people call ourselves as the woke generation. As you mentioned nga earlier, we're able to get information easily, very easily. We have Google, we have the internet right. of things, and of course social media. The passing of information is very quick nowadays. So we're just very grateful right now because, for example, like going back 10-15 years before, it would be really hard to get information without going through books or having to ask someone who's really knowledgeable. Pero right now, you could easily Google. Or ako nga, alam to ng family ko, I learned how to cook steak just watching YouTube. So imagine how easy that is nowadays. And I also learned investing watching YouTube. I mean, my knowledge on investing really revolved around watching YouTube and listening to experts at YouTube as well. So, ayun, I think na, generally, yes, we're a woke generation, but I would take it as a positive thing.
Wala naman dyan sa kwan, no? Actually, you have opportunities, a lot of opportunities na that
of course
opened up to you because of this technology, no? That was not accessible to us, as we said.
Yes.
Yeah, and Paolo, speaking about that, no, kasi sa generation mo, or even in our generation, no, it's very unusual for someone as young as you to be well versed in finance. Meron ka bang sino bang nag-influence or ano ba yung nag-influence sa iyo along this path?
Okay. Siguro first, of course, I'm very fortunate na I have parents who know about finance. No? So they were able to guide me and inform me about finance at a very young age. And secondly, yung as I mentioned earlier, YouTube. I really watch a lot of YouTube. So one of my greatest inspirations is really Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett.
Wow.
If you know finance, you should know Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett. For those who don't know, he's actually one of the richest people in the world and considered as the greatest investor of our generation or the past century. No.
Right.
So. Yun, I kept watching YouTube and I stumbled across a video actually of Warren Buffett talking about compounding interest. So That's what really got me hooked into stocks or investing in general. Tapos, of course, back in high school kasi, I got a class in economics and I got interested no in the how things work, like simple supply and demand, the correlation of things and how they affect one another. And then of course, later on when I went into college, I really took up economics. So even though I'm not good at math or those subjects, the concept kasi of economics really paano ba? It really made me appreciate investing in general. So I think that's that no. I mean those three things talaga are my greatest influences for going into investments this early.
Oh, that's very interesting, no? Because as an economics major myself, no, I could understand where you are right now. No, to me, kasi yung economics, kasi well, it was, as you said, parang para sa in that perspective, no, subject siya.
Yeah, subject.
Subject siya. It was something that because but unlike you, at your age at 24, I really didn't know what was happening sa akin, no. To be honest.
What were you doing then when you were 24, Sonny?
Oh good Lord, I was broke. Oo, magkano lang yung kinikita ko, mga 2,000 a month lang yata, but I really didn't have anything going, no. And it was I got into finance, no. Economics na major ko, but it was a subject, no. I got into finance and personal finance when I got into the financial services industry. Late na ako pumasok, no. So maybe that's something I should have told my younger self, na sana mas early ka pumasok, parang si Pao, no? Parang si Pao, early pa lang. Eh, walang influence, no? Which is interesting, no? You mentioned your influences, no? Warren Buffett has them, pero very unusual yan, no? For somebody as young as you to get into stocks and investment in your teens. I mean, when you were still in college, no? So you mentioned your parents, Warren Buffett. Are there any other influences? Are there other influences that influencing you? Tama ba?
Yung mga speakers, tama
ba?
Yeah,
sure.
Okay. Well, actually, kung dito man sa Philippines, one of my greatest influences is Rex Mendoza. You know, the founder of Ramper Financials. Yeah. I really appreciate what Ramper Financials is doing right now, and I listen to the guy a lot. I watch a lot of his videos, so he's one of my key influences as well. Second, siguro, I don't know if you know him, but he's another YouTuber from the US. His name is Graham Stefan. So he's actually young, I believe a bit older lang sa akin. That's why I watched him a lot, because I could relate na bata pa siya, tapos he got a lot. I mean, compared to me or a lot of people, he's like sobrang amazing na sa investments. Like he has a lot of real estate properties, a lot of investment portfolios na. So I also want to become like him someday. So yeah, I think that's another person that you may want to look at, if you want to learn more about investing. Yeah.
Sige, note natin yan, no? Maybe it's something that we can learn from also.
Yes.
So, kahit kami at our age, meron pa rin kaming natututo sa mga mas
Marami tayong natutunan sa kanila.
Oh, yeah.
Grabe. So, what can you say about, if you can give parang an overview, Pao, for our viewers right there, at your age, no? Why should youth like you learn about these things? Meaning about finance, about investments, about saving, even at your early age. So, what is the advantage pag nag-umpisa kayo ng maaga?
Okay. Actually, the main advantage would be what I mentioned earlier then, on the video that I watched kay Warren Buffett, yung compounding interest.
Okay.
Compounding interest is actually what they call it, like the seventh or the eighth wonder of the world.
Wonder of the world, right?
Yeah, the eighth wonder of the world, yung compounding interest. Kasi if you There's a lot of a lot of mga posts na nakikita ko sa Instagram, sa Facebook right now na imagine if you grow 1% a day, you're gonna end up 37 times better at the end of the year. So that's like compounding interest, no, in a nutshell. Kasi if you look at it na 1% lang, that's so low if you look at it. But by the end of the year, like times 37. So if you look at that from the investment perspective naman, imagine if you start, for example, at 20 years old, let's say 10% growth every year, on average every year. And then by age 30, I'm not good at math, but let's just say you triple your money. Then let's look at if you started at 25 naman, what if baka tumubo lang ng 1.5 or 2 times yung pera mo. So that's the big difference of compounding interest, which is why as the younger you could start, the better. Kasi time in the market talaga is really important, you know. You gain a lot of experience, and of course, tutubo lalo pera mo the longer you stay in the market. And siguro on savings naman, savings is actually for me more important at our age. Kasi sometimes this is common, yung YOLO mindset. You buy a lot of stuff without having any money left. So hindi mo take into account yung costs at the end or expenses mo at the end of the day. Siguro one tip, or the tip that I got from reading a lot, is that try to save at least 6 months of monthly expenses. Yun yung parang rule of thumb daw. So I try to live by that, and I already got there. So right now I'm starting more on pouring it into investments. And yeah, so I guess that's an advantage of starting young talaga, because you could really gain a lot more at the long run.
Exactly, Paul. No? These are the things that we should have known when we were younger. Well, we knew about it, but we didn't have access to it. We didn't have access to it.
I agree.
Maraming hurdles.
Very limited yung access before, yung information. Unlike now na talagang you just go to Uncle Google and you can already, or YouTube, and you can already find kung saan ka pwede, yung mga portfolios and platforms kung saan ka pwede mag-invest. Ano yung mga gagawin. Yun yung advantage at this time.
The tools may have changed, the technology may have changed, but the principles remain the same. So you start investing early for compounding interest, it will grow over time. No? And since you're young, you'll have a lot more time. No, you'll have a lot more time to grow that investment. That's good. Number two, what you mentioned, having a savings fund. No, 6 months, tama yun. In fact, no, because of the pandemic, sabi nga nila dapat 10 months na.
Yeah, a bit.
Na, no?
Mas mahaba na talaga dapat.
Mahaba na ang emergency fund dapat as much as possible. Ganun, no? And you also mentioned about very interesting din, no? Yung spending habits of your generation, YOLO. Yung YOLO, yung YOLO. Yung ganun, no? Very interesting because we didn't have a word for it, no? But ganun din kami when we were younger, no? When we were younger, since we have a lot of disposable income, yun, bibili ka na ng gusto mo, di ba? When it could have been, if you had a goal, it could have been saved for something that can grow over time, no? And even if the technology has changed, the principles, financial principles, still remain the same. Very interesting, right? So, Paolo, you've been investing in the stock market for quite a while, no? And could you give us a pa-update naman? Kumusta ang portfolio mo?
Actually,
just in an overview. Doing good, doing bad.
Well, actually, right now it's still doing good. As you may know, nagkaroon tayo ng dip in the market a few weeks back, especially nagkaroon ng lockdown again. But prior to this, actually a few months ago, sobrang taas actually nung portfolio gain ko. Primarily because my family and we invested during the dip last year. So as you recall, around this time, no, March, April, sobrang bumaba yung stock market natin. And then I believe it was almost this, like going back like 6 years yung levels ng stock. Yeah, yung stock market natin. So we were fortunate to buy it at that low. So when we were able to buy at the low, of course, after almost a year, tumubo talaga siya, like substantially, no?
Right.
If you put it up against the PSEI growth, actually gained a lot more than the PSEI. So unfortunately nga, nagkaroon lang ng konting dip ngayon, but you know, ako naman, we're happy. I mean, if you have extra capital, you should be happy that the market dips a bit because you could buy again at a lower price or average down your losses. So ayun, ako naman, I invest in a very small amount of stocks. Right now I only own 3. So I keep it very concentrated because I really study the stocks that I invest in. So ayun, that's why I'm not really worried right now. I look at the long-term horizon naman, and so yeah, we're doing pretty well. The portfolio is doing pretty well naman.
Maybe there are questions from our viewers na based on your experience, kasi yun nga, it's a question of there are a lot of yuppies or youth who would want to invest in stocks, and even those of our age, but they thought na malaki yung dapat mong ilagay to start with. So maybe you can share to them kung is it very affordable ba? How can they start? And do you have any recommendations kung saan pwede mag-umpisa na easy to reach?
Okay, no problem. Actually, the easiest to reach of all the platforms is really GCash. I'm actually I'm an advocate of GCash. Talaga. People know this, that I really love the app. So GCash, if you've already downloaded it, if you've already explored it, there's actually 2 functions to GCash. It first is I believe it's G Save or Save Money, yung pangalan niya. So that's for savings. And actually, there's a functionality of the save of G Save. I'll just call it G Save. I'm sorry, of G Save, that it reminds you every month na mag-deposit ka na ng 1,000 or X amount that you indicated. So that's for savings. And then second naman for investing is GCash also has G Invest. Now G Invest is actually very wonderful. It's amazing. The lowest actually nila is 50 pesos. Like you could really start at 50 pesos. So all you need is your phone number. Yun lang naman. Actually, I believe that's the main requirement. Your phone number. Just get verified, and you could already invest in GCash. So you could start as low as 50 pesos, and then they recently added 4 funds or 3 funds. They recently added 3 funds sa GCash, 2 of which are global funds, and the other is a PSEI fund, so the Philippine stock market.
Nice.
Yes, and fortunately, they start at 1,000 pesos lang lahat. All of them start at 1,000 pesos. So imagine being able to invest in Microsoft, Google, and other tech companies for as low as 1,000 pesos. So that's a very, very good opportunity. For example, kung ako nga, I mean, even though I'm still young, if meron lang yung functionality na yun ng GCash back in college, I would have invested it back then. Because owning Microsoft is such a big deal. So ayun, GCash, you should explore GCash and take time to use the app, and invest in G Invest, because the portfolio of the funds that there are available is amazing. So yeah, I think those are the 2 for really beginners, GCash, and then for those naman who want to be a bit more mas ready na mag-explore, siguro a good thing would be Call Financial. Ako, I invest using Call Financial because their brokerage, their platform is very easy to use, and it's very user friendly. And one more thing that I like dun sa Call Financial is actually yung kanilang daily notes. Now, daily notes, yung mga write-ups ng kanilang analysts, I read them every day. That's my 9:30 habit. Kasi 9:30 nag-open yung stock market. So sabay ng kape, reading the daily notes of Call Financial. So it's a really good habit to get into because you get to learn how analysts think about companies, and eventually you pick up how they think, and it's good for the long term. I mean, it goes into other places as well. So yeah, yun lang naman.
Ang galing, no? And ang galing nung binigay mo na advice and the information that you have given to our viewers right now, no? Kasi what you were saying about GCash na as low as 50 pesos pwede.
Yes.
So, di ba? Our youth of today, talagang sanay sila sa mga ATC, yung add to cart. Kasi palaging nagpa-flash yung Shopee, yung Lazada, but rather than spending it on that, they can already do investing through GCash, and that's very good, no? That's very good.
So the technology nga has changed na may access na sila sa ganito. I mean, if we had it during our time, probably tayo.
Most definitely.
Pero ganun na. That's something that I didn't even know, no? Meron palang functionality yung GCash na ganyan.
Meron.
All right, we'll have we'll have more we'll continue our discussion with Paolo and after this commercial break. Welcome back to TNC. We are inviting you to watch our live shows and replays. U-Turn, TNC The Talk, Awesome Day, The Home Buyer, The Puppet Stories, Mondays at 5:30 p.m. The Big Picture with Lloyd Luna, Mondays to Fridays at 7:15 p.m. The Millennial Voice, Mondays at 8:30. Foreign Affairs, Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. HR Hotline, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 12 noon. Moving on Business, Well Home, Tuesdays at 5:30 p.m. Mental Shift, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7:30 p.m. Wednesdays and Fridays, 10:30 a.m. in the Philippines. Cybernext, and of course, Money and More is Tuesdays, 8:30 p.m. Philippines and 5:30 a.m. in the US. Check out our page on Facebook or YouTube by searching hashtag TNC Now. Enjoy these inspiring shows because we made them for you.
Yep. And before we call in Paolo, ang daming viewers ni Paolo tonight, Sonny, grabe.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, I would like to acknowledge them, no? May mga nagbibigay ng stars, sina Rafael Malay, SP Bartolabak, also send stars. Si Kathy Liquigan Sanchez also sent stars. Miss Angel Ledesma, Miss J sent 45 stars also. And I've seen in here, no, si Winston B has a question for Pau. How do you pitch a business idea na for development pa daw yung market? So, eto, tanong natin mamaya kay Paolo. Edith Linaw is also watching, and I'm also seeing Sir Roland Enriquez is also watching with us. Nino Ledesma is watching. Sino pa ba? Eric Bispo is also watching. Joyce Lastimoso is also watching. Mabel is with us tonight. Ariola. Diane Lagmay is with us. Miss Cho Lito Esplana is with us. Karen Ong is watching. Hi, Karen. Dante Ledesma is also watching us right now. And of course, our producer and owner of TNC is also watching with us, Miss Apple Manansala. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, and we have Paolo again.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Ang dami mong mga fans. Meron pa na akong nabasa na sino ba yun? She's a great fan of yours daw. Ayan, I'm a big fan, sabi ni Nico Zamora. Yan.
Yeah, very, very thoughtful friends.
Yes, and then Diane is also saying, "Go, Pao!"
Thank you.
Dami mong fans club, Paolo.
Mababait mga kaibigan ko.
Glad to have you here in the show. If you have any questions for Paolo, please put them in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Money and More here on TNC. Okay, we're back.
Yeah, may question kanina. Si Winston B.
Mm-hmm.
How do you pitch a business idea daw na for development pa yung market? Siguro he meant investing. How do you pitch in investing na for development pa yung market daw?
Pitch your business idea na for development.
Investing in his business idea? Ganun ba yan?
Actually, yung question niya is, how do you pitch a business idea na for development pa daw yung market? Meaning, picking up pa daw yung market.
Baka kailangan pa natin ng context, no, for this.
Yeah, a bit more. Pero siguro I could provide an answer if we're talking about, let's say, starting a business. Kunwari ganun. Starting a business even though developing pa ang market. I think it depends on you, really, if you're ready. Even though developing pa ang market, I think when you say developing pa ang market, since it's COVID, we're still picking back up, no? We're still picking up. So, ako kasi personally, I know a lot of friends, and I'm very proud actually to see my friends start their own businesses, even during the pandemic, which is actually a very great feat in itself. The risk that you have to take of starting a business in the pandemic. A lot began selling food, as you may know, yung mga pastries, cakes, bread. Marami nagbebenta dito sa Philippines. So looking into that area of business, it's also good because it's really widespread right now. And of course, again, it goes back kasi to your willingness to take the risk. No,
right.
For me, you have to look at, is my savings enough? Na even though if a business doesn't go well, I could still, eat at the end of the day, diba? So, ayaw naman natin na talagang walang maiiwan sa'yo. So, again, you should manage your risk. Same as investing. The principle is the same as investing. Manage your risk. And know what you're getting into, really. Dapat pinag-aralan mo, you're really prepared. So yun, yes.
I guess to add to that also, siguro he has to identify kung ano yung business na papatok ngayon. Is it essentials ba yan? Or kung ano yung malakas at this time. Diba? Para yung business niya is within or sasabay sa mga kakailanganin ng mga tao at this time.
Right.
I agree.
It's actually very interesting that you mentioned your generation who are starting out, in fact, and how the pandemic has affected you. Well, the pandemic has affected us in many different ways, no. But your generation in particular, because you guys are just starting out, no. You guys are just starting out in life, mga 1 to 1, maybe 2 to 3 years pa lang kayo in the workforce, and then the pandemic hit, no, and that has upended your life somehow, no. Parang nawala talagang isang taon sa inyo, no? For all of us actually, no, but in particular na-affect yung generation niyo in a different and particular way. How is your generation getting over it or overcoming it or rising above what's happening in the pandemic?
Okay, that's actually a very good question. And to go back to your point, as you mentioned, it has just been a year, really. So, we shouldn't look at it as at the end na tapos na ang ating kabataan or aming kabataan, really, kasi it's just been a year, no? So, mahaba-haba pa yung journey namin. Yeah. I guess I couldn't speak for everyone because especially the fresh graduates. At the start of the pandemic, you couldn't argue that employment has been really difficult for them.
Right.
I assume na companies stop employing people, even though you're a top tier student. But companies are really managing their finances right now, and everyone is put in a tough spot. No? So. For those fresh graduates, they're placed in a very difficult spot, especially during the start of the pandemic kasi walang employment.
Right.
And of course, may mga breadwinners who were looking forward to start working na. And things like this unfortunately happened. So, there's still time. For example, as I mentioned earlier, I have a lot of friends who started small businesses. Good. And I think even though it's just yung iba like as small as like selling cookies every weekend lang, they make a small income out of it. So at least they're doing something, and that's one thing to look at least na pwede tingnan ng mga tao na at least there are some people who are able to strive even during the pandemic. Second thing naman, for those who aren't really business inclined. For the past few months, there were a lot of trends of people doing online courses to learn a lot more. So if you have a lot of free time, you could also do online courses. For example, ako personally, I'm also in an online course right now. So after work, I try to sneak in at least an hour of my day to do that online course. And then there are a lot of free online courses. So there's Coursera, Skillshare.
Right?
So madami ng platforms that you could learn from, and most of which are free, or if not, they're like 500 pesos at most. So I think na for our generation, we could still do a lot. We could actually do a lot. Even during the pandemic, to learn a bit more, try to become more creative, like learn Photoshop or whatever. So, learning additional skills is really important as well. So I think that's another thing that our generation is able to do to keep up with what's happening around the world.
Right. That's a great point that you mentioned, Pao, no? Putting things together, parang there are opportunities, no, in your for your generation. Kasi as you said, it's only been a year, bata pa kayo, and you still have a long way to go, no? So medyo makaka-recover pa rin kayo, no, sa mga pangyayari nito. And it's a great opportunity to build up your skill set, no, while you're in lockdown by learning. Tama yun. All right. So these are some of the things that can be done now. So there are great opportunities. There are opportunities if you know where to find them. Tama ba?
Yeah, agree. Tama talaga yan.
And I think that advice transcends not only your generation but for everybody also, no? For everybody in whatever generation, whether you're Gen X or Gen Y, no? Makakabangon tayo. We will be able to get over this. We'll be able to rise above this, no? Just have to
We
know.
can do it. We can thrive. No? And, looking at the economic situation right now, Pao, I'm pretty sure hindi lang naman lahat hindi maganda, di ba? So, what are some bright spots that you see in terms of opportunities
Okay.
sa mga sa age mo? And to everyone, somehow.
Opportunities for my age or like the economy in general? Sorry.
Yeah, pwede din sa economy.
In general.
Okay. Siguro for my age, really, digitalization has taken a great leap during pandemic. So you could do a lot online now. Online jobs, freelancing actually is taking a step up nowadays. Because more and more companies are just looking for like those freelance employees, no? So and then of course you could also start a YouTube channel or someday be as good as TNC. Alam mo yun? I mean TNC I believe started during the pandemic, diba?
Yeah.
So I mean these things came about because of the pandemic, and who would have imagined kung nasimulan ba tong TNC if there weren't a pandemic, diba? So that's an opportunity that we could look at because a lot of things are happening online. So you could actually reach a lot more people online. So for the economy naman, I personally think that we're taking a good step na in the future. Kasi as I mentioned earlier, digitalization is taking effect na right now. Philippines, even though we're a third world country, there are a lot of good companies na. For example, Ayala, Yuchenko Group, different conglomerates in the Philippines that's already trying to use digitalization to their advantage. One of the companies that's most famous for digitalization is actually Union Bank. Union Bank has been the benchmark for most banks on digitalization, and rightfully so, because they've been doing it for the past how many years. So as you could see, that's where the trend is going na. Those companies who are able to adapt to digitalization or taking advantage of the opportunities nowadays are really the ones who are gonna transcend in the future. So I think those are like the small bright spots that I see right now. Hopefully that answers that question.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have more discussion or more deep. We'll continue our conversation with Paolo when we come back from this commercial.
More of our TNC shows watch, like Healthline, Couple Goals, Win Within, Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Market Leader, ULO, Thursdays at 8:30. Negosyo at Home, Fridays at 12 noon. Tech U, TNC Marketplace, Fridays and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. Danny Art Show, After Shift, Women at Work, COVID Stories, The Family Business, Usapang Beauty, The Fourth Project. Catch also our TNC specials, One Day, TNC Arena, TNC Press One, and TNC Town Hall every Saturdays, which is co-hosted by TNC founders, Ms. Apple Manansala and Lloyd Duna. More upcoming shows, follow TNC Now on Facebook and YouTube. Allow your passion to inspire you, and together let us see the new you. And of course, don't ever forget our show every Tuesdays, 8:30 p.m. Philippine time and 5:30 a.m. US time. Ayan. Marami pang mga nanood kay Pao. Angelica Salazar is say, ang pogi naman ni Sir Paulo. Ayan. Go Adrian, sabi ni Francis, and Eric Visco is also with us. Tapos si Sir Dante Ledesma is saying, venture into the professional cleaning and disinfection services industry. Collab with friends and find the correct partners who has ample experience and knowledge about the business.
Right.
Go bro, by sabi ni Abraham Arayata. Ayan.
It's great to hear these mga comments na to. Keep them coming po. And thank you to Mr. Dante for giving some business opportunity business opportunity advice. Now, professional cleaning and disinfection could be something. All right. As we were saying, let's go back to Paolo. There are plenty of opportunities for everyone, no? And even new industries that popped out during this pandemic, and industries that will still continue, even after the pandemic. For example, I'm a big fan of delivery. All right, not for anything, but because of the convenience of everything. No, it's something that can hopefully will still continue even after the pandemic. All right, so marami pong and we can have that discussion more. Just send your questions to Paolo later on. So Paolo, what are your current and future projects and ventures? What's in store for Paolo, Adrian?
Right now, so ako naman, I'm really focused on investing lang right now. That's where my eyes are talaga. And siguro just sneak peek. Although nothing's really final. A partner and I are looking into venturing into franchising. No.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe in the next year. So those are some opportunities that we're looking at, and hopefully it will take shape in the future. And yun lang naman. I'm just really focused on investing right now because the stock market is really at a good place.
Right. Okay, good. No, so I'm glad that you mentioned a lot of the let's say traditional stocks that you traditional stock investing, Ayala and all of that. What are your thoughts on the news on the new investment opportunities like cryptocurrency and Bitcoin?
Well, I've actually been mentioning this for a long time. Na I personally don't see yet the value of Bitcoin. I know a lot of people have, generated great wealth with Bitcoin by gambling on it like 10 years ago. Again, quoting gambling, because if you look at it, Bitcoin really has no fundamentals. No, you wouldn't know why it's going up. You wouldn't know why it's going down. There's no financials are supporting it.
Right.
So I don't know yet. Although the concept of blockchain is good, but Bitcoin specifically, I don't know if it will really change, or become the future of currency. I doubt it will, but it's a good gambling habit for some people. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a supporter of Bitcoin yet, but why not? Why not, diba? Try a bit. Like if you have like extra 10% or whatever, try to do Bitcoin. So yun lang naman.
Right. That's good. Actually, good financial advice. No, wag makiuso. Huwag mo uso, pag-aralan muna anong papasukan and don't invest more than 5% if ever.
Yes.
No, kasi bago siya.
Know what you're getting into. Yun lang
Agree. Yun talaga.
Right. So,
diba?
if we were thinking kasi yung mga bago or people of your generation, yung generation niya, since bago siya, it's something that's new, hype, YOLO, FOMO, whatever it is. No, you'll jump into that bandwagon. No, pero that's good advice. Pag-isipan muna, pag-aralan muna. No, it could be the future. Don't invest more than don't invest more than when you're willing to lose. Anyway, thank you very much, Paolo. No, it's been an enlightening discussion with you. No, it's always great to be able to have a conversation with people in the younger generation. Actually, nakaka-inspire kayo, ha?
Oo nga, di ba? Ang dami nating natutunan sa kanila. And before we let Paolo go, do you want to shout out on people or watching
okay.
this episode right now, or meron ka ba ipapromote? Go ahead.
Of course, I want to thank all my family and friends who are watching, and sila ata yung pumupuno ng chat nag-hello. So I mean,
sabi ni Edith Lino, ang pogi naman na apo ko, di ba?
Of course. Mana sa lola. So, yun. Of course, my brother, actually, kuya ko si Dante Ledesma, he's actually in the cleaning. Yeah, he's also in the cleaning and the professional cleaning and disinfection business. So
that's why.
Yes, of course, like sa Davao, I believe it's the largest. It's Metro Cleaners. So if you're from Davao, look it up.
Look it up,
Yeah,
so
yun
na, pinapromote ka na ni
of course. I mean, it's really worth promoting, no? Even my other kuya, si Ninoy naman, is also starting his own small business din, parang clothing store. So, all of us are taking, even right now, the starting of a business during the pandemic. Kudos to my kuya for doing that. That's a big risk to take. So, yun. Naman, no? I'm just thankful for everyone who's been watching, and hopefully they learned a thing or two from the three of us.
Yeah.
Right.
Siyempre, si Mami tsaka si Daddy, di ba?
Of course.
Watching right now.
Yes.
Thank you, Paolo, and thank you everybody for being here in the show. We'll further our discussion soon, and hopefully we'll be able to see you again soon.
Okay.
Tsaka shout out din sa mga taga Sun Life, Grepa Financial. Yan.
Oo nga pala, mga taga Sun Life, kumpanya ko. Hello.
Thank you again, Pao, and I hope we will have more of you in our next episode on another topic naman, no, di ba?
Of course.
So, again, stay safe, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Rin.
Thank you, Pao.
Thank you.
And thank you to everybody for watching the show tonight. Glad to have you here. Thank you for the stars. Thank you for your comments. Very engaging our audience today. All right? Marami talagang fans to si Paolo, no? I see a lot of good things happening to you. All right? Nakaka-inspire, no?
Nakaka-inspire, no? Yung the young generation right now. Grabe sila, no? Ang dami mong natutunan sa kanila.
Oh yeah, there's still I mean, you wouldn't expect it, but we can learn from the younger generation. Ako, ang natutunan ko, meron pa lang, wala kasing GCash dito, no? Pero may investing and savings function din pa lang GCash, no? Which is actually, meron yung equivalent dito. May ganun equivalent na mga apps dito, marami, no? And that would not have been possible, no? If not for technology. So technology is the great enabler, no? For all these things, no? Whether it's savings, whether investment. The point is that you do it when you're younger, when you have the chance, no? But it's not too late.
I know. Tsaka hindi lang naman on the financial aspect, di ba, Sonny, on a lot of things. Ako, I learned from my son yung paano mag troubleshoot ng iPad, ng laptop, ano yung mga dapat gawin pag hindi na siya, nag-still na siya, pag tinatawag ko na talaga siya. So, these are the things that we, in our generation, should adopt because ito na talaga yung new normal, digitalization na talaga tayo. Right. And before we end, Sonny, shout out ko lang, kasi ang dami pang mga comments dito sa chat box, no? Si Kathy Sanchez, hi, thank you for watching. Celine Lacuna is also watching. Francis Pauline. And of course, yung ano din natin, Indes Agame na may show din siya sa TNC, no? Yeah, co-show ba yan?
Sa TNC, right?
Anyway, hello, watching from Antipolo City. So, thank you for tonight. Thank you for joining us, and I hope that you will also continue to watch our future episodes. We will be giving you very good topics and discussions and gifts.
Right. Okay. So good night, everybody. Stay safe, and always remember, financial freedom
is in your hands.
All right. Good night.